South Indian Bank presents SIB FIN-A-THON in association with enactus IIT Delhi, media partner CNBC-TV18.
India has embarked on a journey to explore innovation and creativity in harnessing the power of technology to shape the future of the financial ecosystem.
Against this backdrop, South Indian Bank hosted SIB FIN-A-THON at IIT Delhi, a two-day event where 15 teams from different engineering institutes and IT companies from across the nation were selected for mentoring and evaluation and tasked to solve unique challenges in the banking system.
The event, which celebrated the top 3 teams for their innovative and creative solutions, was powered by Mindgates. OSTRA was the knowledge partner and Onecard was the technology partner. The South Indian Bank FIN-A-THON also hosted some power-packed panel discussions and fireside chats with experts from the industry to delve on the subject of innovation and challenges in harnessing technology in the financial ecosystem.
SIB FIN-A-THON is South Indian Bank's hackathon, which has been organized along with enactus from IIT Delhi. The output of this FIN-A-THON is truly impressive. It has provided us with many things that we think we can use in our everyday life in improving the customer centricity of the organization. We are an organization that is proud of being customer centric. Over our 94-year history, we have used this as a mechanism of building stronger relationships and ensuring that not only we succeed, but our customers succeed.
The two-day event was inaugurated by the chief guest, Vishal Jain, MD Accenture, and the senior management of South Indian Bank, Thomas Joseph K, Executive Vice President and Chief Business Officer, and Sony A, SGM and CIO.
It is a South-based bank, but then we are not just bogged down to South. We have around 35 branches here in NCR region alone in Delhi, and we have about 1/3 of our banks outside South, branches outside South. So we are present everywhere in the country, and we want to demonstrate that by being strongly present here in the North, by showing these kind of events, or maybe showcasing these kind of events, and making our depth of technology in the system known to others also, so that our presence here will be known very clearly to the people here in the NCR region. Again, we do a lot of focus in young people, and that is why we wanted to be here in IIT Delhi and be with you young guys. I know you all are looking forward to the talks that is going to follow.
I thought I'll just share this in a bit of poem, and then that will be the end of it. In the future's tapestry, possibilities gleam. I talked about future is full of possibilities. Never undermine what is you can do and the possibilities ahead of us in this industry and in country. Curiosity, the key to unlock every dream. So start focusing on why. I think why to me is the most important question to ask, more than what and how. I think people stop sometimes in really going to the why part of the question. Feet on the ground, eyes reach for the sky, confidence within and humility held high. Trust the brain in every stride. Technologies are our senses, our trusted guide. Inch by inch, the future we explore. From Control F to Alt F, we seek for more. With that, I end. Thank you so much and all the very best.
The only thing that I would like to leave on the table as to why South Indian Bank is partnering with, quite a few fintechs and in the midst of young minds is basically because we believe that size is not the differentiator anymore. All of you are in some way or the other associated with technology in a big way. I'll just tell you 2 stories. Vishal was mentioning about UPI being the game changer. So UPI started in 2015-16. Any clue on which was the first bank which went live on UPI? I'm sure you wouldn't get it, or maybe the context would have given a clue to you. It's our bank which went live first on UPI. Now, it might sound a little, surprising for many of you because we are not the big ones, we are not the smallest ones either. But we do believe that investing in technologies which can become game changers is a huge opportunity which we shouldn't miss. So we strongly believe in a win-win situation with partners and with partnering with the student community, with youngsters like you to come up with new problems, not with new solutions. I was just telling that the problem, the first thing is to present to you 2 or 3 problems and then come and ask you for solutions. We strongly believe you should come and share with us the problems and then probably we'll co-create the solutions. So we're looking forward to a wonderful 2 days going forward. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity and all the best for the next 2 days. Thank you.
After the opening and the inaugural speeches, the students and participants headed to their workstations to commence the last leg of hackathon. They were evaluated by mentors and jury members who selected the top 3 teams. The event also witnessed some power-packed discussions between leaders from the fintech industry. The first session was on the theme of psychology of money, how fintech incorporates behavioral economic principles to influence financial decisions.
This is something a financial advisor once told me, that your risk is dependent on how many times you monitor your portfolio. And as you can see, we track the markets on a daily basis. Sometimes the agony of the fall, a 500-point fall, and the ecstasy of a 1,000-point rise, right? But if you do it day in and day out, it changes. But if you're planning for your retirement, you better have a long-term perspective. So a lot of thoughts to share here, Sony. So we'll start things off with your perspective on this.
Thank you, Gautam. I think, it's a wonderful way to start. You were referring to Richard Thaler's book on Nudge. So as a bank, when we started the digital vertical, in 2017, we already had launched a lot of channels and all of that. But there was a very clear thought that we should be focusing exclusively on digital and separating it from tech. Because generally what happens is tech is always about capabilities, whereas digital is about experiences. And the thought process that is needed for both are totally different. So that's the reason why we started. And the reason why I was quoting the Thaler's concept was because the whole concept of behavioral economics and the fact that nudge is an integral part of every decision that a customer makes or ought to make made us think that we would go ahead with a strategy. In fact, when we started, we had 3 strategies. First was indulge, second was nudge, and the third was purge. So we carefully chose those words so that it would rhyme in everyone's minds, including our folks, staff, and our family. So the whole point about indulge was that a youngster or anyone who's very comfortable with technology should be able to indulge in financial services irrespective of where he is on the journey. I mean, he need not always be on the app that the bank produces, but he should also be indulging in a financial service in an embedded manner wherever he is on a online journey or so on and so forth, or even in the physical world.
Ankit, let me come to you. Over 6.5 million active users. So congratulations for that and where you come so far. But your thoughts basically to start things off as to the changing consumer behavior, their changing needs. How do you see that landscape now evolving, and especially in the post-pandemic, right? We saw a lot of folks who were erstwhile not very digitally savvy being forced into that, but discovering that it's actually made their lives far more easier in anything that they do, from banking to personal finance to their daily life overall. And that changed consumer habit now becoming a default habit, so to say. Your thoughts on this, Ankit?
First of all, we are now at 7 million users. Thank you so much.
Wow. All right. Can we have a loud round of applause?
Thank you.
More power to you.
Thank you. Most of us may have played Monopoly or Life, right, during our childhood. I think those are the aspects that give us a sense of how money needs to be thought through, right? When we are playing Monopoly, when we are playing Life, how to buy a house, how to give rent. I think those smaller economics come handy. As we grow, everybody is digital, right? So as Mr. Soni also said, that there is no other choice but to actually now start using apps.
Let me move the conversation on to you, Ramakant, because your product is built for the mobile generation, right? So your perspective on building the right kind of UX, the approach to build the right kind of UX, user experience for a whole cohort of users, differentiated cohort of users. Some might be digitally native, some might not be. Your thoughts on that?
First of all, create a solution that has the least amount of fine prints, because that's the starting point. And then you onboard them at every step of the journey. How do you make sure that there is transparency about all the things that the customers ought to know? And some of these are mostly related to charges. In our platform, if a card transaction happens, you will see that instantly. It may not come as settled transaction because there are certain processes that have to be fulfilled within a period of, let's say, 1 day, but the transaction will start appearing. The customer is assured of that yes, it has gone through, the values are these.
Lalit, let me bring you into this conversation. Your perspective on this whole user-centric design for whatever you as a fintech do to make sure that the objectives are achieved. And you're also, in a sense, driving consumer behavior to positive habits, which creates a sort of a virtuous cycle. So more and more offerings can be given to them as they get comfortable with digital finance, digital payments. Your thoughts on this?
Sure. So classic example to give you is e-rupee as an example, where I am passing on the benefit to a customer who doesn't even have a bank account. Correct. So that is a massive journey.
That is supposed to be the holy grail which solves all the problems in a say, right?
So I think that's where the unique position of Mindgate has been, because if you see UPI as a product, we don't have any big players, but still Mindgate has been able to deliver on this because we have been very agile, understanding these requirements which come across over here and delivering it on time across. I think that has been our major USP for that. And I think that approach and that mindset to solve problems actually plays a pivotal role in bringing across innovation, which is there at its earliest.
Let me come to Mr. Singh. From an ethical perspective, what would you say are some of the guardrails which players in this sector should look at?
So since 2021, what we have noticed, as much as the fintech company grows, our graph of crime also grows.
That's right. Okay. We see it in the headlines.
Yeah. You can see earlier it was 5 lakhs of complaints coming. In 2020, it's rise to 20 lakhs. Now in 2023, it has gone to 28 lakhs. The speed of the fintech grows, the success of fintech grows, also enables the crimes to increase. Could you imagine what is the rate of fraud committing in India? That is 100 crore rupees per day. This credit goes to fintech.
Thank you so much to the panelists for sharing with us their thoughts and insights on the topic, and thank you to the audience as well.
South Indian Bank presents SIB FIN-A-THON in association with enactus IIT Delhi, media partner CNBC-TV18. South Indian Bank presents SIB FIN-A-THON in association with enactus IIT Delhi, media partner CNBC-TV18.
Rajesh Jain, co-founder of Netcore Cloud, presented a captivating session on how to build a Proficon.
What is that future? You've got to be very clear about that, because that's how you're going to attract your first customers and your early employees. Personally, the likelihood of a business failing is very high. In my 30 years, like I mentioned, there are 30 plus times I've failed. Okay? I've succeeded a couple of times. Now, every failure is hard. You've got to imagine what is your worst case scenario. If you're going to spend the next 2 years working on your idea, working on the problem, can you afford that? Will it create hardships for your family? What if you did not get a salary or any income for the next 2 years? Very important to know what are the boundaries. What is the worst case scenario? We all think about what will happen if it succeeds. But you also got to think through what is the worst that can happen.
Believe in yourself, both when you're succeeding and also when you're failing. Believe in the fact that what you're capable of and what you're committed to, only you are, and nobody else can be or will be. And that is where you create the new enterprise, the new company, the new project, the new NGO, the new art creation that you might create, maybe a music piece, whatever. Everything, that commitment to that is you. That is what is the seed of your enterprise.
The second panel discussion on the theme of evolution through fintech, tracking the innovation graph in the fintech banking ecosystem and its usage in BFSI. The panelists included industry experts and leaders and was moderated by Sony A, SGM and CIO, South Indian Bank.
We've continuing the kind of discussions that we've had since morning, where we have been, trying to see what has been the impact of fintechs in the Indian, BFSI segment. We thought we will probably carry forward that conversation in terms of what could be the best models, what has worked, what has not worked, and what should be the enablers.
I was just thinking as I was hearing the speakers that India is moving from largely agri-led to manufacturing, and then services happen, now product. And I think this kind of an industry-academia interaction, I think, is exactly the right thing that's needed to seed the thought in this kind of future forward generation. Bring that thinking, particularly in a space where the India stack is leading. So we're very delighted to be partnering here.
Fantastic. Akash?
So the technology part will play a vital role. Also, the most important thing is constant innovation. You maybe fail fast, that's okay. But if you are constantly innovating things, then you will unlock something new that was not touched before. So that's what I believe.
Sahil?
I'll just say one thing again. That's what I've been keep saying from the last 2-3 years. This is the best time to be in this country, because the kind of innovation that we are doing and the kind of the recognition that we are getting at the world stage, this is a kind of the best time, I think. So we have seen in our times that that our country has forums again has the presence at every global event. So again, it should continue, and we should continue to grow the way we are.
Naval?
Yeah, I think I would agree. That's a great time. And we have seen the explosion of digital from all quarters. And in the same way, securing their infrastructure and all adoption of a cloud and experience, all of that is moving. I think nothing can be better time than this. And we are also very hopeful to be partnering with them.
Sunil?
Yep. So since the start of liberalization, right, the growth or the market size growth was supposed to happen anyways, because the middle class was growing really fast. Our GDP grew, so naturally it was supposed to grow. But the biggest change that happened with technology was that the accessibility to banking services or financial services grew leaps and bounds, because a person who couldn't reach out to a bank branch or an insurance company could now reach out much easier from anywhere in the country, and from even if I'm sitting at office, so I don't have to go before 2 o'clock to the bank branch to get the service, right? So since then, now the next big wave would obviously be that of bespoke, customized services, which would add a lot more value to both the service provider, which can be a BFSI institution, or the customer, the end customer by themselves, by getting more value add from each other, right? Now that's what going to be the bigger change which we are going to see, because the opportunity, like everybody mentioned here, is huge. We are still at the cusp of the huge growth. India is completely digital. We still have Bharat, which has to get digital. So that's the huge opportunity which we're looking at. And I think the next couple of decades, we should be like growing at rocket speed.
Yes, Nikhil?
Yeah. So to give a context, we know that our UPI transaction volume has grown as good as 11 billion transactions per month recently. And there is a scope for further 10 billion per day transactions is the systems are getting ready for. But still there is a lot of improvement. There is a need for innovation to the next level of next tier cities, rural areas. A lot of innovations still needs to happen. So where youngsters and new entrepreneurs can really take part and be part of the next level journey of 10 billion transactions per day. That is a great journey going to be, as the huge learnings on this path.
The concluding session of the Tech Conclave was a roundtable conducted by knowledge partner OSTRA on the theme Technology Innovation in Product Development.
So in the product development, one of our key focus area is to provide a neat and a clean customer experience so that they're dealing with OSTRA. They get an OSTRA experience irrespective of the services that they use.
That 36-hour-long FIN-A-THON saw participants striving to provide technological solutions for banking system, displaying innovation and creativity. The two-day event concluded with the felicitation of the top 3 teams who were selected from among nearly 500 participants after jury deliberations and a rigorous mentoring process.
So the third prize goes to Team Phantom from Coimbatore Institute of Technology.
Second prize for SIB FIN-A-THON 2023 goes to Team Hyper-Personalizers from IIT Roorkee. Now it's time to announce the winners of the SIB FIN-A-THON 2023. It is the home team of IIT Delhi, Team Akatsuki.
As I stand today reflecting upon what we have achieved, we are very happy and we do feel that we have been successful in our endeavor to really, get out the spark of brilliance and innovative solutions. And hopefully, you will soon see a season 2 next year. So thank you once again, everyone. All the best. And thank you for being with us over your weekend.
South Indian Bank presents SIB FIN-A-THON in association with enactus IIT Delhi, media partner CNBC-TV18.